This game I don't feel like doing anything.
I ain't.
Welcome everyone to another Vantage Cast. I'm your host Amo. Hopefully you've been enjoying some LOL-inspired music this evening as we get going on. We do have a Galactic match for you tonight. We have Zyra Wets My Plants versus Don't Ban Rumble, and we have both of those champions banned in the first round here. What a shocking surprise. We doing good? Stupid app. Proxy pick already? Maybe? No way, did they just blind pick? So, Zach Band still ridiculously powered. Minor Threat is subbing tonight, and so is Foozle Bamboozle. So, Aatrox equals Sejuani, everyone. So we got mid lane subs going on. I think actually Control Delicious is normally the mid laner, and he's gone top lane to replace someone. I don't know who. Miner's subbing in mid, but I think Control Alt Delicious is normally the mid laner. So I guess I could like click their names and like look at their actual teams. Foozle Bamboozle is subbing in mid lane for Gelati. I guess it does have Miner as part of Zyra Wets My Plants roster. I guess he's not subbing. He's actually on that roster, so good for them. And so, with that being said, actually I get the teams right here. Real quick. Okay. So Sejuani, Tristana, Ziggs. It's a lot of tower taking power on the side of plants right now. Versus the Orianna Maokai. Pretty strong in their positions. Could go jungler or top with the Maokai Orianna. Obviously strong pick in regards to mid lane. One of the more safe, just straight up blind picks out there in mid lane. So pretty strong. We had some nice CC from some tanky members on the side of ban right now. Oh, that was Sona's ban sound. Poor acoustics on that version. So now it looks like we're going to get rid of Caitlyn. We have 80 carry. Oh, I guess Goonball has picked up Tristana. So Rixie still has to pick an 80 carry. And maybe a top laner for Tuba. As we know Sejuani is going in for double Odonger. Gnar being banned out. So we got a lot of top lane bans with the Darius, the Gnar, Rumble. Cho'Gath could also be flexed up top, so trying to get away from some of those tanks. The Sejuani versus Maokai matchup is interesting. Sejuani can get a good pick on a person if they can kill them really fast before Maokai's ult kind of counters, because the jungles usually will clash into each other. As Sivir is going to be locked in for Rixie. Most likely we'll see Tuba on another tank-like champion or a heavier bruisery fighter. So we can have the Sivir like kind of just run at you comps. It's just a Sivir comp, everyone. Morgana. Let's see if that's a. So we have a Morgana Tristana. And probably trying to decide on what the top laner wants to be. What does Control Delicious want to take in the Tuba? Possibly Maokai, but Maokai is probably jungle here. For Mayor of Wavos. I always leave out the of on his name. Shen locked in, and there is Trundle. Trundle is a big middle finger to the tanks. So something I learned about by paying attention to, the pros, the pro casters. Jat and I think it was, who was talking about it? Sometimes I remember Jat was talking about it, but I can't remember exactly where I was listening to him talk to him. If in certain points of the game, Sejuani goes for an engage and has her passive up, Trundle places the ult on Sejuani to steal away all that extra armor and health, not health, the health, the armor, and the MR, all the defensive stats away from Sejuani. And then Sejuani goes in the combat, and after like 3 seconds, the passive drops. Depending on Sejuani's current stats and Trundle's level and ultimate, can actually make Sejuani go negative in like either armor, magic resist. In that regards, if you just time it just right, it's really interesting concept and thing that's a uniqueness to that interaction between those two champions. So I wonder if we will be seeing how that plays out. I'll try and keep my eyes out for it. It's kind of hard sometimes to watching the 10 champions on the screen to see which champion gets ulted by the Trundle, but Trundle into some tanks is always very good, and is basically whenever tanks pop up in meta, Trundle always makes an appearance because of that ultimate, an ability to kind of just really shred tanks just with one ability, and he doesn't even have to really hit them that hard. Q also, reduces physical damage, so that's nice there. They also, on Trundle, as I'm just spewing out any knowledge that I can think of off the top of my head about that champion, his Q now can be reset on auto attacks against towers and deal damage to towers. So he's going to be taking a bite out of some giant stone pillars up in the top lane. Shen, my favorite champion of all time. He is a flippin' ninja. We'll see how good he does against the Trundle matchup. Shen's now going to rely a lot more on the Tiamat. Sunfire Cape isn't as good as the starting item. And this matchup, you're going to have to get magic resistance and armor. Right. You're going to have great ultis in onto either Ziggs or Tristana to keep them alive, and just you're just playing a two carry, 2 tank support, CC support. And the other team is playing 2 carries, they're playing 2 carries, 1 tank in a kind of a fighter bruiser, but not as tanky. But Trundle can become tanky because of his ult, and a CC support. So we'll see how the Morgana does into the Leona. They went Leona, right? Yeah, Leona. Nope, never mind. They went Nami. It was Leona on screen, wasn't it? Am I just losing my mind? Pretty sure when they did the first ones before it was Leona. Whatever. It's Nami now. That's what particularly matters. So we'll see how well black shielding bubbles the Morgana is. Now, Big Bad Red, usually more known for as you can see, you can't see because they didn't pick their same bands again. The Zyra play, which is the reason why their team's name is Zyra Wets My Plants. And the Brand play, really big on the mages down in bot lane. And so the last, first half of the season saw a lot of bands targeted at him in pick bands in the last season. But now this season, it's gone back to more supporty supports and tanky supports. Kind of, not saying that he can't play them, because he definitely can. Just slides more slightly out of his comfort style, and we'll see how well he transitions. Now Morgana's a lot more heavier on the AP in that regards, in the support down there, but definitely the black shield, very important, the bindings and the snare, rooting, like I said, CC support supports, or healing, shielding with CC, bubble, ult, knock up, so 2 ways people can get picked by the supports. AD carries, Tristana, hard pusher early on and later on. Especially if you see a lot of Tristanas go like BF Sword in the Static Shiv. Get to the towers real quick. Just start shredding through them. Sivir a lot better at pushing waves than Tristana. Not quite as good as taking towers. Has much shorter range, but does have the ultimate, which is a nice team utility. Whereas Tristana's basically just a solo gun, firing away. Ziggs does have that additional power of the satchel charge on towers, so definitely looks like the plants. I wrote my plants here. Team on the blue side looking to get towers early or sooner and try and get their split push going and allow Shen to sort of like kind of deal with the Trundle and have it be a stalemate, which is in favor of Shen because he can ult out or ult to a teammate. Get Ziggs and Tristana once they get that range and extra damage in onto towers quickly. Take down some towers, move around the map that direction. The other one we have the Maokai, Orianna, Sivir, Nami. That's once again Sivir comp. We're running at you. We're engaging hard with the Maokai and the Maokai ult on top of the Nami ult, while extremely slow, can catch teams out in very different aspects. Looking at catching them out towards either on an objective where the team is focusing the objective, Dragon, Baron, any one of the towers, which Ziggs and Tristana want to be sitting in on the towers. And it just comes to this giant zone control with these ultimates. And also the shockwave from Orianna is going to disrupt the team fight and like the pokiness and that the Ziggs can put out with the Morgana binding. We'll see if... I don't think they'll be using the Sejuani ult as a pick. And if they are, it's going to be an engager. It's going to be like a full engage. They have to blow up the person super fast with like Sedge, Ziggs, Trist, Morgana. Blow them up, back out before they get engaged hard upon by the large, massive overflow of Maokai, Nami, Orianna, Sivir, Trundle. We'll see if the Trundle teleports can match up to the Shen ultimates as well. Once again, we'll be calling these teams by plants and ban because the puns on their names, while are entertaining, a miserable time to cast. So, for Zyret's My Plants, we're going to have Control Alt Delicious up on top on Shen, Double Odonger in the jungle on Sejuani, Minor Threat in mid lane on Ziggs, Goonballs playing Dragon, Caster, Tristana, AD Carry, and Big Bad Red on Morgana. On the side of Don't Ban Rumble, we have Tuba in the top lane on Trundle, Mayor of Huevos on Jungle Maokai, Foozle Bamboozle on mid lane Orianna, Rixie on AD Carry Sivir, and Conrathen on Nami support. And we got that spectator pause. So... if anyone doesn't know, I like this meta. I like it when tanks are in the meta. We're going to see some Shen play. I'm excited about that. We're looking at here the Fog of Wars as everyone's running out, pinging different stuff. It looks like we got an invade probably coming out on the side of plants. They're looking to get in on ban. Plants on ban. We'll see how they get in onto this Nami. Shen has already leveled Taunt, level 1. This is extremely risky because Shen needs Q in lane, and taking level 1 can be very detrimental to your laning phase. They have to go for it. We want to see a flash. We'll see if we'll see a flash. Conrathen's going to go walk away. They're going to miss it. Ooh. And the little kitty cat prevents the rest of that engage, so Nice back there. Easy defense as all 5 members are walking over the ward there. Excellent job by Ban and the fan out. That means Shen is going to be a little hard pressed early on. Until he hits level 2, maybe even level 3, depending on how the Trundle wants to play it. Trundle into Shen can be a little bit of a rough time for the Shen. But that being said, we'll see if Sejuani wants to do a return to the top lane. As Maokai gets a nice leash at blue, Sejuani gets a nice leash at red, and we are on their way. 2 minutes in. Miner's already winning in CS, 5-3. And Tuba's also winning in CS because, well, you're Shen and you took taunt level 1. We'll see. I feel so bad for the little baby dragon that Tristana squeezes every time. Just fire little fire bolts. Both these tank junglers, both of them have good CC if they can get onto him. Shen does have one additional champion, Shen, that can help apply the passive of the E there to make sure to get that stun in. So we can see that definitely happening. If there would to be a gank up top, Troll doesn't have any escapes, but with the pillar and the should be able to help disengage if anything does push in his direction. We'll see Big Bad Red has gone for the little blue thing. Why am I drawing a blank today? Spell Thief's Edge versus the coin line, which is the ancient coin. We'll see how much. We'll touch base on those golds coming out here in a little bit. As Shen is going to go in. We'll see if we get a taunt here. 1 point. There's 2. One more auto attack. Flash in. Does not get the auto attack. There's the stun. No root as Donger's actually going to be pushed into tower. We'll see if the Templar's do it. And First Blood is going to go over to Maokai in this top lane. That's not looking good. And Shen's going to drop to the Trundle. And this is the worst thing that could happen to a Shen in this lane. It's not very good. Especially for the Shen. Sejuani has a chance and ability to get in the jungle, get back and farm and start affecting other lanes. But this lane, Tiamat already for the Trundle pretty much means that it's over in that regards. This is what you don't want is the opponent. He's come back with a ruby crystal. Oh, that's so rough. We'll see. I think Control Delicious can try and save the wave here. Just keep it in a position where he can. Trundle will automatically be pushing with that Tiamat. Oh, he didn't pull it over. We'll see how well that goes. I think the key is Shen just has to try and keep this as even as possible and not to fall too far down behind in CS and experience. Really use your ultimate proactively against the enemy team once you hit level 6. We have Maokai coming in here for jungle with that extra advantage in on here. We'll see if he wants to sit in this bush. He's waiting to do another counter gank. Oh, this is not looking good. We'll see what Maokai wants to do. Go straight in onto Tristana with a Q into the plants. And there's a buff up. We'll see. He's going to get stunned here, but a nice bubble by Nami. Black Shield too late in that regards. And Siver's just throwing out some nice things. And Black Shield coming out. And there is snares back in by Maokai. Q, and looks like Exhaust goes in. And Siver with one last auto attack. I'm not sure, but that could have been a crit there. Ziggs roaming over is actually stepped on a pink ward and is going to finish off the pink ward. No blast cones out. Let's go back to the mid laners fighting over pink ward. I don't want to look at top right now. And Ziggs is actually going to have to roll it back out. So excellent counter ganking or setting up for counter ganks Mayor of Huevos has done in this game. Definitely saw that top was going to be an early pressure on against this Trundle who's level 6. And the ult Tuba. cocky against Control Delicious. Excellent taunt under tower. Ult was not enough healing to save him in that regard. So Shen taking back a little bit of control to this lane here. We'll see he can catch this CS. Definitely is going to hit level 6 off of it. And once Shen is 6, well, that bottom fight, while Shen wasn't 6, that could have turned drastically different the other way. So we'll see how that impacts the next ganks coming out from the jungle. Maokai has to be a little bit more careful about going all in on the enemy team now. Early push in here as Tristana in on to Sivir while she has backed a little bit harder to CS as Tristana with that explosive shot does deal extra damage to the minion waves. It means that she can't last hit as easily as the health bars always get a little screwed up unless you can time out the perfectly, especially as you're putting points into it. What you want to do, because that's what you get when you put the little bomb on the towers, and then it helps you shred through them. So Tristana's goal is to get to one of these towers, shred through it, maybe help with Ziggs. We'll maybe see if these teams want to do some rotating. Right now, Mayor Huevos has just been slightly further ahead and being in a better position for his team. Nice W there on the Shen with the Q, and taunts his way out, but the boots on both sides. Actually, Ninja Tab by for Shen. Excellent first pickup against the Trundle. Problem is you have a Maokai and Orianna, so that's not going to help with that CC, but that auto attack basing damage that you're going to face against Trundle, who is now hit level 6. And this is part of the problem, is now you have to use your W, and he's just going to go through it as Shen is going to taunt away and flash over the wall up top. He is going to go back to safety. Double Donger is seen getting hit this red buff. Shen's going to have to back and probably teleport back up to top lane. The mid laners are basically both sitting here on 60 CS. Other than the couple of kills, the AD carries, Sivir's going to be able to easier push in. Has actually just picked up the difference with the AD carries is boots right now. In that regard, this Double Donger is going to clear out this ping. And now Trundle has got us Roman. We see some deep wards here trying to time up the spawn of the second buff, the blue buff here, as that would be the buff spawning next on the top half of the map. And with Shen having to teleport into lane, they're just going to hand that straight over. I'm not sure if they're going to give it to Maokai or to Trundle. Probably a Trundle so he can start spamming his Qs and Ws. So Tristana's going to go straight in onto, and there's a great ult by Nami there, and whiff by the Sejuani. As the Shen ult came in as well, they spent a lot of time and money and effort down here, and they got absolutely nothing for it. This means Trundle is going to get some free time up in this top one. With the help of Maokai, is going to actually blast Ken out and go down towards mid, as Miner's actually going to drop into middle and kill return. So the mid laners trading kills down here, and with the mid laners gone, no control over mid lane, Maokai is going to run straight on through, look to get onto this dragon as Shen is onto the AD carry. They're trying to split their duties here as Maokai is going to flash in. It looks like we're going to have a root, and with this snare, there's a nice bubble who get in onto Morgana, who's just going to be exhausted here as Shen and Trundle teleported in. Double Donger is going to take out the enemy jungler, but I think Tuba's going to finish off another one. Yes, he is. Finishes off the auto attack. Nice jump by Tristana, trying to get in onto Sivir. Isn't able to, and with the reset on the W, jump away. Does have flash. We'll see if flash has to be burnt here as Trundle takes out the pink ward. No one got dragon. Excellent job. The plants definitely felt forced to go for a dragon play since their gank attempt didn't successfully get them anything, right? They used the Shen ult, they used the Sejuani ult, Tristana jumped in. They needed to do something to get rid of. They spent all that time and effort, and then Trundle was just going to get a ton of free time up in top. So they felt necessary to push in hard. As a result, they looked at Dragon, which would have been fine, except for the mid laners killed each other. Orianna Ziggs traded kills in mid lane, which meant that there was no one stopping the Maokai from running down. Obviously, there's no one in top lane to stop the Trundle from teleporting. Uh-oh. excellent ult there by Orianna, spending everything as she actually burns Ghost. Ooh, great satchel charge. Oh. Let's go back to Sejuani. Not in room for Double Donger to get in onto the Orianna, so poor trade. Orianna burning all of her spells there to get in onto Ziggs, make that happen, as Orianna is now going to go over the wall with the help of Mayor Huevos. It looks like the snare, and there's the little cat in the bush, and that's not looking good, as Double Donger is going to be able to Q on out of there on the Sejuani Poro. Absolutely adorable. Let's go back to top lane trading. Shen's doing a decent job in these trades. The problem is that Shen is down, 50 CS at 12 minutes, which is pretty tough to deal with. So we have a pause coming out on the side of someone. Don't know who paused it, but someone did. Hopefully connection issues are getting straightened up. Mayor Huevos has definitely gone into the jungle of the Sejuani after forcing her out. They've already stolen one blue buff. Look at the excellent ward placement. You have if you want to look at the mini map, which I can't move, but right now because of the pause, you have a pink ward right behind red, you have a ward across from red, and you have a little cat in that bush there, knowing that this entire jungle is controlled vision wise for the next like 30 seconds while that little cat stays in the bush there. It'll last about 30 seconds, or it's probably less than 30 seconds because that cat's been there obviously for a little bit, knowing that Sejuani coming back from base can only go the top half of the map, which, depending on how much information Ban is using right now, they know that Sejuani, if it goes to the top half of the map, doesn't have anything up there. Or what I'm predicting, what's going to happen is Trundle is going to come down and hit that plant, and Morgana's just going to eat everything and cannot Black Shield everything that came out of them, as Goomball's going to go in onto Rixie here, flashing in, and with the ultimate is going to finish off the AD carry. Excellent job with a counter kill on by Tristana in onto Sivir. So the 1-for-1 doing their best to keep plants alive down here in the bottom half of the map, as Tristana is going to now slowly push ahead of Sivir in CS and in experience, the solo experience levels. Get Tristana going, try and get in onto that first item, try and get a tower down, and then get into another lane, maybe get Tristana in this top wave against the Trundle, depending on what Plants wants to do. What I was saying is, while the pause was happening, I thought Trundle was going to come down, hit the Vision Plant to see where Sejuani was for sure, make sure that what camps were down here while the gank was happening in bot lane, and it turned out really well, but Sivir went the wrong way. Sivir went into the Tristana instead of out with the tank and the support. Directed Cam really likes the top laners in this matchup, and I don't have any particular problem with that right now. Although it does go over to show me that Sejuani gets the rebuff, and Morgana has been seen in mid here by a ward, has been picked out, clears out that ward, knowing that Tristana is in a 1v2 down in bottom. We'll go down to Sejuani, who's going to go in here, gets hit by a bubble, not a strongest as we go back to the top lane tanks here. Trundle has burnt ult. We'll see what Shen wants to do in this 1v1 now that Trundle's ult is down. Not much is going to happen as Maokai is going to clear out the pink ward. Maybe a tower dive? No. Shen has to focus in on these minions here. Maybe we'll see Maokai and Shen go, or Shen and Maokai go for a blue buff steal with Orianna, while Trundle is down here stuck. Nice steal as that's going to go in onto Maokai, who's going to come in, and nice root. It looks like this is probably a kill. Going to go, oh, the shockwave gets both of them here as Orianna's going to flash the wall. That means no ult coming in out of the side of Ziggs, and flash over by Trundle as it looks like we're trying to land this. There's the E. Down goes the Sejuani and the Shen. Double kill by Orianna. This is now a 4-1-1 Orianna, up 20 CS. with blue buff, going to be extremely strong, probably to try and take this first tower. If she would have stayed, I think they probably could take it with Trundle. I think Trundle may be able to take it by himself here anyway. Yep. First tower is going to go to Trundle, which is not the position you want to be in. If you're the team with Shen, if you're the team with Ziggs, you're the team with Tristana, you want to be the ones pushing the tempo. You're the ones who want to be taking the towers. You want, if you're falling back, all you're doing is wave clear. You know, AoE wave clear is great if you're being sieged on, but it's not the best if you're the ones just trying to like prevent a lot of, you know, damages. We're gonna see, oh geez, that Orianna damage right now, and onto Ziggs. Ult is gonna finish off the Ziggs there. One more Q, nope, Orianna shield and speed up is gonna happen. Trundle is gonna teleport into this ward, probably to make sure this tower goes down. That being said, the 80 carries are trying to trade to go at it, trying to make some type of return play for the spot lane. Plants need to Tristana to start to go off here to help, you know, help out the rest of the map. And looks like maybe get some towers, as giving up two towers and a dragon here within the last couple minutes is, you know, really detrimental, especially that Fire Drake going over to the Trundle in the split push against the Shen is going to be really harmful, as actually Trundle's already has the Spirit Visage to prevent whatever magic damage Shen is going to be spitting out at him. Which is a lot of magic damage, actually, in this team comp. Shen is usually about 50-50 in damage, in physical and magic, especially if you go with the Sunfire Cape, which is magic damage, Q, which is, you know, deal magic damage based on, you know, health, depending, especially if you pull it through them. The Taunt is magic damage. You get Bramble Vest or Thorn Mail, that's going to be magic damage. I mean, just the auto attacks from Shen are going to be physical in that regard, so that is in favor there, but I think the Spirit Visage plus the extra healing that Trundle gets not only with his ult but in his W naturally should, and his passive should, you know, such a great item on the Trundle is the Spirit Visage. Playing the long game here with the Sejuani gank. And this bot lane's not really pushing up. No, they wouldn't want to push up anyway because the Rift Herald's being taken. That's a long time for Sejuani to sit there. A lot of time off the map, as we see Shen's just sitting at his tower, maybe looking to ult. Looks like there's a play that they're trying to force in the bottom half of the map for plants here, and it's just not presenting themselves. Rixie and Kyrathan are doing an excellent job of just backing off, knowing that the Rift Herald is being taken, and not putting themselves in this position where Sejuani comes over the wall, and even though you land a Nami tidal wave, might mean you're dead, as actually Ziggs ult is not going to come in time to finish anyone off. Orianna is running over here. Sejuani's probably going to have to get out right away, but Shen did ult in for this, and he's going to have to hit the blast phone out, but that means that, well, Trundle is in top lane taking tier 2. Orianna maybe look to come for a shockwave. Nope, going to back it on off. Maokai is down here in bot lane. If everyone leaves, he's going to be able to push this in and drop the Rift Herald, or he can get jumped on by the Tristana and the Maokai, Tristana and the Morgana, as there's a knockback by Goonball. We'll see if there's the exhaust. Flash has to come out. Another shield, and there's the speed up coming out, and Rampage by Tristana. Too bad, two down into the tower, and Big Bad Red, you're running the wrong way. You're gonna be dropped here. Sejuani's should gonna just kind of clear up the wave here. As Sivir, Orianna, both with buffs on, could shoot through this tower pretty quickly, but let's see if Ziggs can get a counter tower. No, cannot. Let's go back to bottom here and see how Orianna does against the Sedge. Well, taking too many tower shots from the tower there. And it looks like Ban here is slowly, going to start running away with it here. They've gotten 4-0 in towers. and just cleared everything out as Tuba's just going to actually get straight in on the minor threat. Nice flash, but I think the ult from the Trundle, too strong. Level 13 to level 12 at that point. This means that Ziggs, with not a whole lot of health, just sitting on one arm, is going to absolutely drop in as Tristana is trying to crit her way to victory against Sivir. It's going to be effective as she's able to jump out after the completion of that, but now Shen's going to probably finishes that teleport, and with the help of Rift Herald, goes in and takes down the tier 2, but now Rift Herald may be looking to get onto this inhibitor tower, and that's going to be terrible things as they're going to try and have to smite to finish this off, but so much area effect damage is a nice shockwave out by Orianna is going to help finish off the Shen, and there comes the Maokai ult, and Ziggs bombs does not land on anyone as Maokai is just trying to throw down as much damage as possible. Trundle was able to escape out to the bush, so Trundle's going to head home. That is now 5-0 in towers, and that's pretty much going to be where, oh no, Tristana. Oh, that Thunderlord's proc is going to flash to maybe look to Q, but looks like, that satchel charge. Good dissuasion on the side of the Ziggs there to prevent whatever Orianna's thought process was about trying to flash in and finish off Trist. Goonball has to be the one to carry this team here. It has to be able to just set up and just start picking people off. I don't know if you want to try and go for a tower. Is the Sivir, and this is that run at you comp as Morgana can only bind one person, and there's a great snare, but Ziggs trying to throw some bombs. Looks like they're going to try and blast coming over to Sejuani, but she's going to be able to Q out over the wall. But now, you have Sejuani. Oh, there's the Trundle looking. Shen ult is going to be used in defensiveness, not proactive. Tristana's going to go in here onto the Trundle, and it looks like we're going to have a pretty big fight here as Nami's actually going to take down Tristana with the heal, and this is just a rampage on the side of Trundle, and the Ziggs damage is not going to be enough. It's too late in the game, and now with the kill onto Shen as well. There's no one left. Ziggs has burnt all of his abilities in on not shooting damage, and minions aren't going to live, and Trundle is just going to not care at all what those towers say to him. That is a 7-1-6. Trundle, 22 minutes in, almost 200 CS. He has 11,000 gold, 1,500 he hasn't even spent though. But that is, 2 full build items when no one else other than Tristana has. Looks great ults there, but here's the problem. You're ulting into a Sejuani, Sejuani's ulting into a Maokai and Sivir and an Orianna, so they're just running them down. Going to run it out here. Looks like they're just probably going to look to end the game. They probably have enough damage. Ziggs is going to try and clear out the minions probably to prevent this final tower going up. But once it's dropped, it is definitely over. Shen with the taunt. It does land onto 3 members, but that's not going to be enough as once his W drops, as the shield is going to go down. Ziggs just throwing out bombs from the backside, but that is not enough. And nope, can't even kill the tree at the very end there. Heal from Nami, and GG. Ban wins game 1. And this is the aspect that the professional players say when you have a matchup where Shen versus Trundle early on in the top lane is definitely Trundle favored, right? The 1v1 Trundle versus Shen definitely 100% favors the Trundle. It then goes even more in Trundle's favor when Shen starts taunt level 1 and has to just play it, passively. This then forces the Sejuani to want to gank the Trundle to give Shen some pressure relief, some just like a breather, so a chance to back, maybe buy an item so he can help counter push. Maokai knows this, gets there right after the Sejuani in a great CC chain. And the Sejuani taking a tower shot, slightly unlucky, slightly excellent play on the Maokai, on the Q there, the knockback. Meant a double kill, 2 kills, double buffs over to Maokai and the Trundle in the top lane, and it just snowballs from there. Trundle can now tower dive Shen, Trundle can teleport to bot lane like we saw and wipe through team fights because he's a level up. Right now he's level 14. This is the end of the game obviously, but he's 2 levels up, the solo laners. He's 4 levels up the enemy support. And when your top laner on whatever champion you want to pick right now is 4 levels up on the enemy support, is just too strong. In that regard, you have it. The rest of your team goes even. Orianna, Ziggs trading kills in the mid lane means your team's going even. Ziggs isn't getting any towers down. That forces more pressure in onto Tristana. Tristana has to get going. Tristana went in for a little bit more risky plays than probably Goomball wanted to in order to try and catch back up the team, keep getting that gold. Probably most gold on his team actually. We just want to touch base. Yeah, definitely 2,000 most gold on his team, trying to do the catch-up mechanic to get his team back involved, but they didn't get any towers. He got some kills, but they didn't get any towers. They didn't turn any of their advantages into any objectives, and that is the end of that one. So we'll touch a little bit here on the stats. They'll probably invite me to game 2, and then I'm going to finish my snickerdoodle. And you guys can come back in a few minutes.
Sometimes a champion gets remade, and it ends up being no surprise that he's back.
I just played Jax, and I carried the game. The other team let me put my Lambos inside them. I just played Jax, dodged all their auto attacks. Can't believe 20 minutes went by so fast.
Have you ever played Jax? I have. I did great. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first, but now I'm platinum ranked. It literally just happened. Playing just to make the pro player out the worst.
When they took Dodge out the game, I thought Jack would be unplayable. I love him so much, I knit his face in a crochetable. Killed Rammus, Raj, and Chen, and I killed Graves, and I killed Garen. All I had was Ninja Tabi, but I went and solo Baron.
You'll never guess what I just did. I played Jax, swapped my lamppost for a cardboard tube. I went to PAX, CF tried to go top, but I told him to deal, cause I'm like hotshot up there. Red